Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. Our V.I.P featured guest is a parenting and family fun financial literacy expert. She is founder and chief creative officer of Character Avenue. She has been in the childcare industry for over 25 years, serving children and their families on many levels. She holds a Master of Arts in Teaching E through 6 and a Bachelor of Business Studies in Marketing from Dallas Baptist University. She has appeared on various radio, newspaper, and media outlets, including ABC Good Morning Texas, NBC5, Fox Radio syndicated morning shows, CBS affiliated stations, and let's just bring her on. So Silhouettes, let's welcome Gloria Mansfield to the show. Hello, Gloria. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, I am, again, honored to have this quality time with you and shine the light and let you share your Silhouette of Success story with the audience. So let's just dive in. What do you say?
Well, you mentioned that I have been in the childcare industry. It's been over 25 years, and that's a stretch because, I'll keep adding to that.
Oh, it goes by quick, but then in the moments when we're going through it, maybe not so much.
Well, and you know what? It's my passion. It's my love. And so I'm delighted. My mom, when I was a youngster, she was the neighborhood babysitter. And so I saw her in action. She was like Mother Goose, loving children. And I didn't plan on this, but of course she, by example, gave me the mantle. And so here I am.
Oh, we're going to dive into that. Oh my goodness. Let's do that. So let's just kick it off. I love to start the shows by having the guest illustrate the shaping of your silhouette of success by going back, just like we're about to, like you were, and talking more about the background and how you got to this point along the journey. So take it away. Tell us more about that.
Well, growing up, I grew up in a traditional home, mother and father. And to be realistic, we were not rich, but we were rich in family time. And by that, I saw my father was the breadwinner and my mother was a stay-at-home mom. And he was very traditional in that sense. And so having family dinners, both parents teaching and guiding us, that's where I came from. And of course, we had struggles. And so I learned early on that family engagement is essential. And so to fast forward, that led me into getting into the childcare industry. And then being able to be a blessing to so many families with millennials and Gen Zs to help them foster and connect and restore family time interactions. And family time is only a season because youngsters and children are with us from infants all the way up to those high school years. And then when they graduate, that season abruptly comes to an end because I know that as a empty nester. But you can't go back and reclaim that time. And so I help parents to be in the moment. And that's why a piggy bank tutor family fund financial literacy expert. It's just getting families to understand that money and kids, along with family time, it all starts in the home.
So excited to have you share more about that. And shout out to our friend Lori who connected us because she was so enthralled with what you're doing. So we will get into that for sure. That's a big component of why we've got you here with us. Let's talk about your alarm clock goes off. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like for you. So on your work and business days, are they structured? Are they more spontaneous? What does that look like for you?
Both. Both. And I do have my daughter that works with me, and she kind of cracks the whip because I am a creative person by nature. And so, with that being said, you have to have time to be very fluid and organic. But then again, I have to have structure because I do have a time clock and time management. I do find myself going out on location to do workshops, whether they're parenting classes or whether they're teaching childcare teachers of different strategies to do in the classroom. So, I do both. I do both. And I have to be very conscious of the moment and make sure that I keep myself very organized because if not, there's trouble.
You mentioned, maybe we talk about that for a quick second. Your daughter cracks the whip, but what I heard from that is she's in the business with you. Is it a family business? Because it sounds like there's a legacy of supporting kids and families.
Well, it's kind of interesting because it didn't start out like that. And you know how, your children are, they just see mom or dad doing what they do. And then she eventually, as a matter of fact, I would say in the last 12 months, she figured it out like, what, mom's on to something. And she's on to something because she sees where we are with post COVID. And she knows that social emotional literacy, our emotions and young children and the struggles that they go through and that character avenue along with Piggy Bank Tutor, it helps fill that void or helps parents to address that in a loving way. And so she understands it now.
It comes in time, doesn't it? Comes in
Yes.
time. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how old is she? Do you want to share that?
She is 25. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's 25. And so with that being said, when she works with me, she really focuses on the content. And she helps with the messaging because I can be, because I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed really early if I don't have a workshop in the evenings. And so my schedule is based on what's going on the next day. And so like today is an office day for me. And so I got up around 4. And then, of course, I'm having that time, just being still and being quiet. And that's when I find creativity or the problems or the issues that I didn't complete. Clarity comes to me early in the mornings.
I am right there with you on that. And it's interesting because I'm always fascinated, and that's why we talk so much about best practices in our episodes because we learn so much from each other, but yet we're able to relate on so many levels. And I agree with you; those mornings are golden. They just are.
Absolutely.
There's just something very enlightening during that time. So going back a little bit, as you embarked on your career path, who do you think most influenced you to go this route and to create Character Avenue? And can you tie that back to something or somebody?
Well, growing up, there were pain points because my father and my parents, my mom, they did the best that they could with little what they had. And so I learned, and I'll say this, I love shows like The Waltons because it just
Ah,
is reminiscent of family time and family values and just making things work, even though it appears that it's not going to work, it will work out in due time. And so my parents were such a role model in not even knowing that they laid a strong foundation into my destiny. My mom was always enterprising, even though she was a stay-at-home mom. She was the type of person that she would find ways to make extra money. And this is going to date me, but growing up, when we had telephones, the landlines in our home, you may not remember that, but we did have telephones, not the
Oh, I
cell
do.
phones. And so there was this thing called the white pages or the yellow pages.
Uh-huh.
And so my mom would get a job working from home where she would deliver the phone books and place them on front of your house or your apartment, whatever. And so she would have her team of children, because it was 6 of us. My mom was such a wonderful person. I just love her. And so she taught us early on about the value of earning money and that entrepreneur spirit. And then, of course, about discipline and about being a problem solver. And so my dad himself, he had that same virtue. And so I would say my parents did that, because even the small things, I hated it as a child. Because my mom, she would take us out to deliver phone books when other kids were outside playing. But we did have playtime, but maybe an hour out of the week, she would gather the children and we would deliver the phone books. But when I look back on that, oh my gosh, that was such a valuable life lesson, because she taught life lessons and my dad did also.
Those are priceless. They really
Yes.
are. Those are priceless. And the fact that you are continuing to carry that forward and presenting that opportunity is just invaluable to, especially where we are today, as you touched on different points of the day and times, post-COVID, pre-COVID, in our society. So I want you to talk more about your company in detail here in a second. Talking through the things that you have going on, the parenting classes, all of these different things that you are doing. If you get stuck ever or need motivation, what gets you through a seeming barrier between you and a dream or a goal?
Well, and you know what? I raised my children to think like this, and I know my parents did me like this, and even as a teacher. And I would always remind myself and others, and since the question is about me, that, oh my gosh, you have a problem, Gloria. And instead of murmuring or having a pity party because I'm in a rut or I'm in a, dealing with a problem, I remind myself, get excited, because now I am a problem solver. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So it's just turning it around and looking at it as an opportunity, because I have a problem. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do about it, Gloria? And so just looking at it from the glass as being, instead of half empty, it is half full, because there's still an opportunity to make it work. And then being joyful about it, being grateful. I believe in that you have to have an attitude of gratitude to raise up your attitude. So being being grateful. Gratitude elevates your attitude. And so just doing that. And so a lot of self-talk.
I can't write fast enough. Grateful. Oh, I love this. You are pouring into me right here. I'm on two and a half pages of notes.
And life is what it is, because
Mhm.
life is a journey,
Yeah.
and you do have potholes. And I'll be quite transparent. 2023 was a year of sadness, because I had to bury 2 wonderful persons in my life. My sweet mama, who was 90 years old when she went home to be with the Lord. And then, of course, my beloved sister, who battled cancer. And she was my big sister and my best friend and my everything. And so with that being said, I mean, it was challenging. It was very challenging So I had to hold on to gratitude, being grateful that the times that we were together in the beginning, the middle, and toward the end, I was present. I was present, ever so present, because you never take people for granted and never take time for granted. And so gratitude, because life is what it is. Life is, but be grateful. And so I had to really hold on to gratitude in that season. And even now, that the days, the weeks, the months have passed, I am reminded of those moments and I smile, but I still cry. Yeah, I cry, but I know that everything that I've experienced, I was present. So always be present, because when the time moves on, because time will move on, you can't go back and do a replay.
We need a moment there.
Yeah.
Wow. You're actually segueing into the next question on my list. Sometimes I jump around, but we're just going to stay with this because as an independent business owner and someone devoted to helping others, and this goes to, maybe your season of in 2023, where do you find support?
Well, and I'll say this, that it goes back to family.
Mm-hmm.
Family is everything. And if you fail to recognize that, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because family is everything. I recently moved closer. Well, I moved back to be closer to my brother and sister. At one point, I lived about an hour away from them because I was following, my work and everything, which is great. But I was so lonely over there. And during COVID, it was really lonely because I was not at, 5, 10 minutes or 15 minutes from my family. So I get my strength from my family. I get my strength from my faith. And I like myself.
Mm.
you
Wow.
know,
Say
yeah,
that again,
yeah. I
Wow.
like myself.
Yeah.
And Amber, I'll tell you this, today's my birthday. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday. You have to
Yeah.
lead with that.
And so with that being said, and I'll be very transparent, I'm in my 60s. I'll be in my 60s. And so with that comes wisdom. And
Mm.
so when I reflect, over this journey of my life, I can go back and see, where I made mistakes. But I've learned from my mistakes. And I'm excited about the next chapter because I have so much to give out. And that is, of course, with the work that I do, because it's all about bringing families to a place where they can experience this season of parenting, whether it's through financial literacy or whether it's fun family time. That's what this chapter is about.
Well, again, you must be able to see my screen because these are just beautiful, perfect segues
Oh,
into the next question. And so let's just do this. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your work. Let's talk about your passion. Um, Share with the audience. We're going to talk about your business. Dive into the inspiration that maybe brought you into finding this company and finding the mission, and how did it all come about? Even talk to us, if you want, about the name, how you came up with Character Avenue, and then you've also got, of course, your piggy bank tutor. Talk to us, just give it all to us as much as you want.
well, it all started with Character Avenue. And characteravenue.com is the website. And that's where family time is family fun. How about that?
Yeah.
And so, working with families as long as I have, it's close to 30 years, to be honest. And so, growing up in a home where we did simple things, none of this extravagant, costly things that parents think that kids want. They just want your time. That's it. Children want your time. Children want your time. And so that's where Character Avenue comes in, because we provide opportunities where we help parents to identify the season that they're in. whether it's being an infant, parent of an infant, a toddler, or twos, threes, preschooler, all the way up to high school. Be present. And then creating those moments so that you can collect your memories during those being present family time moments. And then, of course, there's some things that are coming down the pipeline for 2024, the latter part of the year that I'm excited about. Can't go into it right now, but I'm working on it. But the other part of Character Avenue is Piggy Bank Tutor. And Piggy Bank Tutor is a division of Character Avenue. And when it comes to money and kids, right now, when you think about money, what happened to coins?
Mm-hmm.
Because children learn through play and have to feel and touch things. And right now they're just swiping when it comes to money. And so we make financial literacy fun, and it's a family time experience. So your listeners will have to go visit piggybanktutor.com and check it out, because raising money smart kids is a family affair. And so we make that fun. I have the three little pigs, Lily, BB, and Cece. I don't know if you saw the children's book that I wrote, but it's all part of this. And so it's all about, to encompass everything when it's circled around family time. And whether it's character education, whether it's financial literacy, just putting the fun back into being a parent, because it should be a fun, not a, and it is challenging. You will have those moments. That's all part of life, but you don't want those challenges to rob you from those moments, because once your children are grown, what do you have? Only your memories. And sometimes you don't even have that.
You've got this magnificent offering for all of us. But as I'm listening to you, the clarity in which you just peeled back so much of the cobwebs, from my parenting head to be able to think, wow, yes, I'm on board. I'm on board. So, wow, thank you for that.
Well, I
And
appreciate that. Thank you
oh,
so much, because,
yeah,
because when the season comes to an end,
yeah.
there's no replay. It's over.
And it does go quickly. It really does. I remember hearing that when we were growing up, but you're right. When you're in the parent's shoes and you reflect back, it goes very quickly. So enjoy the ride. And we get so busy and caught up in these other seemingly priorities or whatever goes on. So thank you for sharing this. I'm excited to get this out and share your contact information, which you'll do here in a little bit with the audience. So we shared some fun things, maybe some of your accomplishments or features in different medias. Do you have a favorite accolade or cherished milestone that you'd want to share with the audience? Anything?
You know, I am so honored and privileged to be a mother. And I say that from my heart, and I do express that as, a seasoned mother. At the time, I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
But I
Those
can
are,
say it now.
yes.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. That's not
Uh,
nice.
well, it is your birthday. It is your birthday. We've got celebrations and, you earned your stripes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I'm also hearing from my side of things as you share, um, just how much you're providing that maternal guidance for everybody that you're helping. So I would say that's an extension, right?
That is true. That is true, because I do have moms and dads that come into my parenting classes, and these parenting classes are provided by the childcare centers. And it can be quite emotional
Mm-hmm.
because I take them to that sweet spot. And that's that sweet spot that we want to hold on to as we write out, the parenting days. because it's that sweet spot that keeps us grounded, even though, and we can fill in the blanks with even though, those teen years, even though, because I've lived all of that, baby. I could tell you stories, okay, honey? Yes,
Yes,
baby.
yes, yes.
Woo,
Oh.
those teenage years. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, and that's why I asked you how old, the daughter was, because yes, 27 and son 16. So I'm with you on the I'm with you. I'm with you.
But
But
it's worth every
e-
minute. I promise
agree.
you. Yeah,
Agree. And the
yeah.
reward when they, just as you mentioned, your reflections of delivering the phone books. Know in the moment when you're, little and you're doing this task, but then fast forward and then you look back, and then our children the same thing. And when they start to get in those mid later 20s, they start looking back and you're like, "Okay.
Hmm. And it's
All
so funny
right."
though, because my daughters have often said that those little nuggets that they endured, that those were great learning life skills. At the time, like my
Yeah.
mom, she was just doing things, but it's all about life skills. That's what's missing with children. Children growing up, they do not have the exposure to learn life skills. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'll say this quickly. One time, my daughters, of course, we have dishwashers in our home, and I said, no more dishwashing. We're going to wash dishes by hand. We need to learn this skill set.
Nothing wrong with any of that in my book, So,
Yeah.
oh, my lady, we're going to take a quick sponsor break, and we'll be right back. I personally have been investing with Ashcroft Capital for about 5 years. I know the co-founder, Joe Fairless, pretty darn well. He's my brother, so I can personally vouch for him and how he approaches things. I like investing with Ashcroft because of the monthly cash flow. They buy apartment buildings, improve them, and then sell them. It's a good business to be in, and I'm glad to passively invest with them. You can learn more at ashcroftcapital.com. That's ASHCROFT capital.com. Okay, we are back. All right, birthday lady. I'm so tickled that it's your birthday. Um, I'm looking at the clock. Can I squeeze a couple more quick questions in here?
Yes, by all means, yes.
Awesome. Okay. So, what feeds your soul, and when do you feel the greatest sense of satisfaction?
There's certain music that I listen to, and I love listening to music that is soft and soothing, whether it's instrumental or whether it's gospel music. But that feeds my soul. Whenever I'm in a rut and I'm just kind of trying to shake stuff off, or I may even just use that self talk and remind myself of who I am. So that feeds my soul, because you have to feed your soul without question. That is a must. You must feed your soul.
Beautiful. Beautiful. As we begin to wind it down here, and with all of the resources, I am quite confident you research and you have at your fingertips and continue to flourish in. Are there any that you would want to share with the audience, maybe that might help inspire, uplift? Of course, we're going to be sharing your links. You mentioned that you authored a book. I did not know that. So I'm excited that I wrote that down to get that on my reading list and purchase list. But is there any resource that you'd want to share with the audience that maybe is a favorite of yours?
You know what? I will say, to really be comfortable with yourself is to know that you have a purpose in life, and you want to get still, get quiet, and seek that purpose, whatever it is. It's not material things. It's not the next gadget. It's just being able to pour into others and being of service to others. And I know that life has a lot of potholes and the current state of where we are now, a lot of distractions and a lot of noise. But be still and ask yourself, how can I be a servant and help others? Because when it comes down to the end of the road, all those things that you have in life, they can't go with you. But what can go with you is knowing that you've done the best that you were planted on this earth to do. And that's your legacy.
Bam, done. Wrap it up. Tie it with a bow. That is beautiful. Beautiful. And just words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom. And I thank you for that, because hearing it slows you down enough to let it sink in for a minute.
Yeah, it's your legacy. What people will remember who you are and how you made them feel.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. All right, my lady, we are going to give you the stage completely in supporting you. Where can our audience go to find and connect with you on your socials or support you in your continued success?
Well, they can certainly visit characteravenue.com. And on the website, that's where it all starts. And then, of course, Piggy Bank Tutor is on Character Avenue, but they can start there, characteravenue.com. And I look forward to what this 2024 is all about, more of being a blessing to others. And so looking forward to that.
Magical. All right, my lady. And based on the teaser you shared that you've got some new things coming down, we'll probably have to have a part 2 later in 2024. What do you think?
I look forward to it. I had fun and I love your energy. And, by all means, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, my lady. It has been sheer joy, a complete pleasure, and an honor, selfishly my honor, being with you today, but very grateful to share you with our Silhouette of Success audience. You are a genuine light and inspiration to us all, and happy, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. It's my birthday. Thank you so much.
Yay, you. All right, my lady, until part 2, enjoy your day.
Thank you, and you as well.
All right, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at thesilhouettesofsuccess.com or connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're grateful that you've tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.